Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along for round 8 of the N.O.R.L F1 2017 Championship. We are just getting ready to get underway, and we are in the qualifying session for our 15-minute session today to get things underway. I apologise if the stream is having some issues. We're just having a little bit of issues getting the stream started, but I'm sure that they will be resolved very, very quickly. And I think they are resolved. So we are just about ready to go. Okay, so we are good to go. Let's discuss the news. We have some penalty information to give out today. I have moved the mic away from my mouth. It's the first penalty for shouting, and therefore, you know, causing the microphone quality to drop significantly. We're just getting up the penalties for you from last session. Almost said last season, not quite. So what we have is that the car for we have. So let's start off with Callum J. Spencer then. Got his qualifying ban for that incident. We're watching Callum J. Spencer now. And we are taking a look at his outlap, but he has a qualifying ban for today. You might be wondering, well, why is he out on the circuit? Because he's out on medium tyres, so he's actually going and just doing some runs on the medium. He's allowed to go out in qualifying, but he's not allowed to set a time. So he's gone out and he's just trying to get a little bit of extra practice, really, on them medium compound tyres, as obviously that's what he feels his strategy is going to bring him towards later on today. So he's got a qualifying ban for his collision with KB Killer Zone 22 from last time out. And that is how that one has ended up. So, next up is Force India's N.O.R.L. He has a reprimand, so no penalty, but a reprimand for his incident in forcing the stewards believed he forced KB Killer Zone off the track. Well, my personal opinion is that KB Killer Zone went for a gap that wasn't really on. Galactic Skull 2 has also got a reprimand for his dive bomb on a dive bomb, if you remember that. Ragnar made a dive bomb, and so did Colin at the exact same time. And he has been reprimanded for that one. So those are you up to date on the penalties for today's instances. The championship looks like this. JD7 leads the championship now from Maverick. He takes over from Maverick by 6 points. 6 points is the gap, and that is the gap at the top. Norfolk Blue still remains in third place with 88 points. He is just 3 points ahead of Chazza HD, as he's known on YouTube, but just Chazza 35687 in this championship. In the team's championship is McLaren Honda still lead with 181 points from Red Bull Racing's 133, and they're just ahead of Mercedes with 112, and Mercedes are the last of the guys in the triple digits, and then it is Scuderia Ferrari at 92. So now with all the news is out of the way, that's taken us a little bit while to get through. Let's go have a look up and down the field, see what we can see. Like the Sailor, CCC. We've had some yellow flags out already in this session. So obviously drivers are trying their utmost to learn this track. It's a very tricky track. It's a street circuit, but it's quite a wide and obviously, you know, very, very fast street circuit. So it does look a lot wider. If we ride on board with Norfolk, it looks a lot wider than the likes of Monaco. But at the end of the day, it is still a street circuit. So it's still definitely very, very tight, very dangerous. And especially chicanes like this, it's quite a nice track to drive. Despite it not looking great, it is pretty decent to drive. It's pretty fast, and it has really fast final corners, which I really love about this circuit. They remind me of the Porsche curves from the Circuit de la Sarthe, obviously, or as most of you will know it, the Le Mans 24-hour circuit. And they're like the Porsche curves from there, and they are really fast, almost flat out, and really cool to see. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. We're going to try to track that down for you. It's in Sector 1. Cameramen are looking for it now, but they can't find it. Welsh Void, meanwhile, has taken provisional pole as it stands. So, as the first lap time comes in, it's Welsh Void, quite surprisingly, on provisional pole. He's ahead of Paddy Brick, but the really fast guys are yet to do their time. N.O.R.L would be one of them who I'd have thought to be a little bit higher up after the first runs, but I believe this is Nibbler coming to either start or finish his lap. He goes P3. So, Nibbler, another driver who's missed a couple of rounds, looking to get back into things, starting off with qualifying here today. Next up is KB Killer Zone. Pole sitter from last time out had the controversial crash with Callum J. Spencer, which sees Callum J. Spencer with a qualifying ban. He's going to come up to the line now, and we'll see where the time puts him. The engine screaming, that V6 Ferrari hybrid. He goes provisional pole by about 0.2 of a second ahead of Welsh Void. So first blood is dealt then by xxkillshotzxx in terms of the ultra fast guys. Next up, coming to the line, is another man who's been on pole many times this season. JD7 comes up to line. He's at a 40.7. That is an incredible time. 0.4 of a second quicker than xxkillshotzxx. Really, really great lap from JD. Really great lap from JD, and that's what we're so used to seeing from the Welsh McLaren driver. Of course, McLaren is now an all-Welsh driver lineup, of course. So, but arguably JD is the one. He's definitely the qualifying specialist out of the two, at least. What else have we got going on here then? Have we got anyone finishing a lap? I believe we're about to have Galactical 2 finish his first lap. Where's this going to put him? Okay, maybe he's starting a lap, so it looks like the last lap was invalid for Galactic Skull 2, unfortunately for him, and he will have to go out again, and Chaz has put it in the wall. Very lucky not to DNF from that, actually. Very lucky indeed. He's got some front wing damage. He may have to pit and get that repaired before he can continue on his lap. He's going out on soft tyres, so a little bit of an issue in his connection. We got a yellow flag once again in Sector 1. Obviously nothing serious, as it's been cleaned up pretty well. We have Paddy Brick going very slowly. Looks like he's just trying his best to get out of the way of another car. That's a really risky place to let someone through. As for drivers competing today, we've got 15 starters out of, I believe, 20 we have signed up. One of them is Super Ninja Skills, who is unable to race for his own private issues. xxkillshotzxx now goes fastest with a 140.5. He's found 0.2 on JD7. JD7 is actually out of fuel. That looks very much like JD7 is out of fuel. So pulled it a little bit close on the fuel for that one, and he's just having to coast back now to the pits. So let's take a look around as the track announcer is talking about Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas and Nico Rosberg are not part of our series, unfortunately. I'm sure we'd love to see them in the N.O.R.L, but that is not to be. So yet to set time is Kevin Jacobs, we're watching with now. Not sure if he's out on an outlap right now. We'll take a look. He is out on a lap then. So here's Kevin Jacobs. We'll follow him around and see where he goes on the soft tyre. Of course, Nibbler up on the soft tyre as well, so when I said about Nibbler's time not being that impressive, I completely forgot and didn't see that Nibbler was on the soft tyre. So my apologies to Nibbler, but he's got P8 with the soft tyre, so it looks like a bit of a tyre time difference at least. And Nibbler's actually just changed to the super soft now according to the screen, so that's pretty screamy. It's either a glitch with the settings or something else. I think Super Ninja Skills is actually out on circuit. Well, we'll look into that because I've been told that he's not racing, but we'll take a look at that because he's definitely out on track at the moment. Kevin Jacobs, again, we're follow him to the end of his lap, see where he goes on them soft compound tyres. I have a sneaky suspicion it might be P12 though. It doesn't look like it's an amazing lap for Kevin Jacobs. Kevin Jacobs not had a very strong qualifying form this season. Comes around the final corner for the final time on this lap. And now we ride on board with the Haas Ferrari V6 hybrid. There's a little bit of lag is making him jerk along the circuit, but he's going to come up to the line now. He's going to go P10, so he betters Nemesis Racing's and Galactic Skull 2's time on the soft tyre well there on the super soft. Good effort from Kevin Jacobs. It looked like we just caught Mr. Galactic Skull 2 coming out of the corner a bit sideways. Galactic Skull 2 is yet to set a representative lap time. So here comes Callum again into the pits. That's going to be really frustrating. He's really practicing how to get in the pits perfectly. That was fully committed from Callum J. Spencer. That was almost in awe to watch. That was rapid through the final chicane into the pit lane. So dedication there. Welsh Void, shout out to Welsh Void. We've got Callum J. Spencer retiring from the session. He's had enough for one day. We're looking through the yellow flag in Sector 1. We don't see anything, but it's a long yellow flag, so something might have happened. Regardless, it's gone now, but we couldn't find it. Welsh Void, shout out to him. He's up there competing in third place today for the Williams team, my ex-team, when I raced in this series. So it's nice to see Williams all the way up there. Cam Dispenser, of course, transferring from... he spent like one race as a teammate to this man, Welsh Void, and then moved on to McLaren. But Welsh Void really pulling what's left of Williams together. We have yellow flags in sector 1, but I think that just might be the game thinking, oh no, we have an issue of Ragnar letting through. Well, he's gone to let Norfolk through, and he's actually gone in a bit too deep and had to reverse to get going once again, so that's a bit awkward for Ragnar up in P7. Decent result for him as it stands. We have a 1 minute 30 left on the clock. We can see guys coming back out on the pit lane. Super Ninja Skills now. It's the next driver we're going to follow to the end of the lap. Coming up into the castle section, we will ride on board. Just see how fine he cuts it. This is one of my favourite corners on the circuit, really. Ooh, really cutting it fine. Really cutting it fine for Super Ninja Skills. Good effort by him. We'll continue watching him as he comes out through the next series of rapid corners. Flat out most of these corners. Next corner flat out, and then you approach a very downhill off-camber braking zone, which can be very easy to put it in the wall, just like that. He kisses the wall, gets away with it, and now he's going to come up to the penultimate corner before the final set of Porsche curve-inspired corners. Here he goes. So here we go then. Going to ride on board, see how fine he cuts it. Plays it pretty safe, doesn't want to get too risky, and will now run up to the line. And now it's just a test of how fast he can go in a straight line. We'll get the telemetry up for you. He's doing about 206, 7, 8, and dare I say 9 and maybe 10 miles an hour coming up to the line. And he goes P10 with that lap time. So P10 for Super Ninja Skills, not bad considering he thought he would not be racing today, as Galactic Skull 2 has had gone straight off at turn 1 and retired, and the AI is dangerously rejoining the track there a bit. But there you go. Another driver is out. Nemesis Racing decides enough is enough. But we're watching this man. This man's on a rapid lap. We can't see in comparison to the fastest lap just yet, but he's fully committed. We'll stay on board. We have a full course yellow right now. Oh, big lock up for JD. Is that going to cost him some time in that downhill off-camber braking zone? He's got 2 temps to find if he wants to take pole position. 2 temps will do it for him. Not by a lot, but it will do it for him as he comes up into the final set of corners. Really got to commit, and we'll be able to see how much he commits compared to the likes of Super Ninja Skills. Just watch how much... he was pretty reluctant through there as well. Didn't really get close to that outside wall, but he's going to be coming down the start-finish straight. And I would have thought he backed off, but if he wasn't on a good lap. So I have my hopes high for JD as he comes up to the line. And he does it! No, he doesn't! Look how close that is! Like, wow! Really close stuff. It looks like KB Killerzone is going to take pole position then. JD almost did it, didn't it? I thought he did for a second. So close. Between KB Killerzone and JD7. That was mega close stuff for those guys. But it's KB Killerzone on pole, ahead of JD, ahead of Welsh Void, and Nibbler puts it up in 4th in the end. Good effort by Nibbler to come back from that. Another poor qualifying session from Maverick then. Oh, goodness me. I can assure you that's not intentional, because the AI has taken over for JD here. I'm not sure what's going on, because now we've got an AI with a no wheel up there. So the AI are breaking down a little. They're not quite ISR AIC standard just yet. They're having a bit of issues. But there's a car down there with 3 wheels on his wagon as we complete our qualifying session. There's a Mercedes. But the AI losing their minds a little bit. Just bear in mind that that was AI on the cooldown lap and was not drivers. So we don't have that bad of drivers, I do promise. So there is your grid for the race that's going to follow very shortly. KB Killerzone takes pole ahead of JD, and Nibbler got 3rd in the end. So wow, takes it right at the death by 2 temps. And we will allow you to take a look at the rest of the grid while we get ready for the race. Welcome along everybody to round 8 of the F1 2017 N.O.R.L Championship. We are getting underway for our formation lap right now, and it's going to be an interesting one. We've got this huge back straight to give us some action. Look how dedicated Nibbler wants to get this outlap done and dusted, by the way. He now leads the train through. So let's talk about pointers. We have two very fast guys on the front row, both very equally matched in terms of pace. We've got a guy who's not far off the pace behind them as well. We have Welsh Void, probably his season's best result in qualifying, so we have to see if he has the race pace to get that over with today. We have a little bit of a poor performance in terms of Maverick. All the way down in P8, he's been battling for pole most of the season, and it looks like he's on a run of tracks that don't suit his driving style, or he's just on a bad luck slash poor form bounce, and it's important for Maverick to strike back from that, and he could do that well today just by slicing his way through the grid. Speaking of people slicing their way through the grid, we have another guy that's quite far back, is Chazza. He's had good results this season. He's taken a win this season, of course, and he's on the soft compound tyres, so a variation in strategy for Chazza could see him at the top near to the end. Paddy Brick's been disqualified, but do not pay attention for that. That just means he's disqualified from the outlap and the formation lap, not the session. Another man we're going to watch is this man, Callum Spencer, and look how far back he is from the rest of the grid. So while the other guys are sitting on the grid getting the tyres nice and cold, Callum Spencer's holding them up so he can have the warmest tyres and have the best start. So we'll have to watch out for Callum Spencer, especially after the first lap. We're going to get you the tyres data on the side here. See what tyres everybody's on. So the top 8 is super softs, and then majoritarily down from 9th to 15th is the soft tyre, other than Nemesis Racing, who's starting on the super soft tyres. So we're going to get that ready with the position changed, and we're going to get ready for our race as KB Killer Zone brings us up to the line to get ready for round 8 of the championship. We'll have to see how many positions Callum J. Spencer can make up on lap 1. Of course, he was a man that was battling for the lead this time last week. So he's a man that's very capable. But right now our attention is not on Callum J. Spencer. Our attention is on KB Killer Zone and JD7. All systems are good. We're ready to get racing here in the commentary booth. And I believe the grid is ready to get racing as well. So as we wait for everyone to sync up, we're all ready to go now. 4 red lights, now 5. It's lights out and away we go, and I think JD7 has got a better start than KB Killzone going into turn 1. I was correct. He's going to make a move down the inside, get the job done pretty easily, and that's him into the lead. KB Killzone's got sideways. That's going to allow Welsh Void to attack him around the outside. I'm sure KB Killzone will not be interested in letting that one go, but as now KB Killzone might sacrifice this. He's got the inside line, but I think due to the better racing line, Welsh Void has got the better start, and they will battle. Oh, huge contact between KB Killzone and Welsh Void. Welsh Void into the wall, loses a bit of front wing, and he's got to trail that all the way back to the pit to get it repaired, and that Nibbler gets a bit phased out, goes a little bit deep as a result of that, but definite damage for Welsh Void as he made contact with KB Killer Zone. What was going on there? So chaos has started pretty early on. We're watching Norfolk Blue cutting a bit of corner there. That's going to allow Paddy Brick to get a little bit of a run on him. He's looking for the inside line, but he's a little bit of rubber banding going on between the two. Almost contact as Paddy Brick almost goes into the rear of him there and gets away with it. Paddy Brick, I think we saw a car in the background just going a little bit wide. We'll try and find out who that was for you. I think it was the McLaren of Callum J. Spencer. Callum J. Spencer into the wall. He's hit the castle section. He's hit that pretty hard, caused a massive traffic jam behind him. Damage, I'm sure, for the likes of, contact between Galactic Skull 2 and Kevin Jacobs as well then. Very bumpy start going on at the start of this race. Unbelievable stuff then. Everyone's getting very, very rough. Elbows are wide out starting this race. KB Killzone has now got to chase back and try catch his pole position again. We've got Super Ninja Skulls is out. Super Ninja Skills is out with a tyre over the front of his car. He's had a collision with the wall somewhere and he is out of the session. Could that be a safety car? That's in the middle of the track unless the game could despawn him before these guys get back around. Nibbler has got past Welsh Void, and I'm sure that's because Welsh Void is planning a pit stop very soon. Or is he? Welsh Void staying out. Still going to battle this one with Nibbler. Looking to the inside on Nibbler. Doesn't have the brakes to do so. Norfolk Blue looks like he's got a better run though, but he's under pressure himself from Paddy Brick. Is he going to make a famous Norfolk dive bomb? No, he's not. Job, oh, contact between Ragnar and Paddy Brick. Ragnar loses a little bit of front wing, getting phased out on the early braking of Paddy Brick as Paddy Brick tried to get out of the way. Callum J. Spencer's in the pits for a new front wing after colliding into the capsule section. JD leads by 1.6 seconds over KB Killerzone. Niblo in third, 8 tenths behind him is Welsh Void. Welsh Void, though, has got some front wing damage after being put in the wall by KB Killerzone. I'm sure that one will be investigated after the race and we'll find out what just happened. We didn't get a very good view of it, but it looked like the two banged wheels, and that was that. And Welsh Void was in the wall, and he's definitely got some front wing damage. He's now got Norfolk Blue pressurising him. He's trying to follow his compatriot of Nibbler up ahead. We've got Anel Tanovic has made 2 places off the start. Great start by Anel Tanovic, and Nemesis Racing at a big gainers on the first few laps. Callum J. Spencer made about 4 or 5 positions on the first lap before he binned it in the castle session. We got a yellow flag in turn 1, and it's Callum J. Spencer. He's gone too deep after going straight for his new front wing. He's gone too deep and made another mistake and lost just a little bit of more time to the rest of the pack that he's got to close in. He's going to be hoping, he's going to be praying his stars for a safety car. Paddy Brick still chasing down Norfolk Blue. Norfolk Blue still chasing down Welsh Void, and Welsh Void is just dropping a little bit off Nibbler. Look how fast these guys coming through that last corner are. DRS not enabled until next lap. This is all got to be slipstream rich rev power. And who's got the better exit? I can see guys going side by side in the background. Who is that going side by side? We've got a car pulling off. Who's the car pulling off? It's Ragnar. Ragnar's taking it very slowly into pit lane, so he's got some damage after hitting the back of that car. We've got Chazza making a move on Maverick, I believe. Maverick and Chazza doing battle coming into turn 2. Who's going to have the bottle? Chazza gets it done up the inside. Very aggressive on Maverick. Maverick got squeezed out a bit there, but now Maverick's got the DRS. But so was Chazza, so that kind of negates the effect for him. And unfortunately for him, he's not going anywhere. It looks like Norfolk Blue is trading positions. There's a big battle going on here. Norfolk Blue has got Welsh Void, and Paddy Brick has followed him straight through. We'll keep an eye on this battle to see how it transforms, because now Paddy Brick is trying to apply the pressure to Norfolk Blue on this very early third lap. DRS will be enabled at the end of this lap. Not sure if it will take effect on the start-finish straight, though. They may have to wait until next lap. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Paddy Brick, 3.5 tenths of a second behind Norfolk Blue. That's our closest battle on track at the moment. Maverick is 3 tenths behind Chazza. Very close coming into the castle session. Castle section, did I say? I do apologise. So much going on, it's hard to get your words out correctly. Next series of corners are flat out, but there's slipstream involved here. That could cause some understeer for Maverick with a turbulent air, I'm sure. So we come into the very awkward braking zone. Very close, and I think a little bit of carbon fibre just came off the front of Maverick's wing. Slight damage on that one. We're going to take a look at Paddy Brick. How close is he to Norfolk Blue? I don't think he's close enough. The one we're interested in is this one. The battle between Maverick and Chazza. Mercedes versus Red Bull. Coming on to the start-finish straight now then. We'll ride on board with Maverick, see what kind of exit he got. DRS wide open for Chazza, and I'm sure it's open for Maverick. We'll get there eventually as well. Welsh Void pits. The wing damage has got a little bit too much for him. Nothing doing on that occasion. Paddy Brick's going to have a second bite of the cherry though. We'll ride on board with him. He's got a little bit of a poor exit compared to Norfolk Blue though. Norfolk Blue's going defensive already. Tactics Skull 2's got a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Bad start for the Scotsman. Paddy Brick, Ireland versus Australia. Very close. Nibbler just ahead of them. Nibbler's not getting away in this. KB Killerzone is dropping off the pace of JD. JD looks like he's got the better race pace out of the two currently. Paddy Brick chasing down Norfolk for all he's worth. No positions have been made on this lap as yet. We'll take a look. We had some cars making pit stops. The cars with the 1 next to their name are obviously the guys who made their pit stops. Callum J. Spencer and Galactical 2 are pretty close together after making their stops. I'm sure they had a battle coming out of the pit lane. Paddy Brick chasing Norfolk as much as he can. Got to try stick with him through these Porsche curve inspired corners though, and that's quite a hard task given the turbulent air and the nature of these corners. But no lift from Paddy Brick. Full commitment almost in the wall though. Here we go. DRS wide open for Paddy Brick. This could be the opportunity he's been waiting for. He's going to pull to the outside. And it looks like... Oh, no, dummy. Up the inside goes Paddy Brick. Does he have the bottles on the brakes? I think he does. Norfolk Blue contact, though. They banged wheels. Definitely getting their elbows out. And Paddy Brick has to settle back down into 5th position. I'm sure he's getting a little bit hot-headed under that crash helmet. Norfolk Blue goes extremely defensive and Norfolk Blue lets him through. Norfolk Blue feels he impeded Paddy Brick there by banging wheels with him. And in the nicest sportsmanlike way, great effort by Norfolk Blue to let him through. Realise, hey mate, I've made a mistake. Here you go, here's the position. Now let's see if we can hold on to it. So through goes Paddy Brick on the occasion that Norfolk Blue let him through. As obviously Norfolk feels he ruined the chance for Paddy Brick by unfair contact. So Chazza chasing down N.O.R.L is our next adventure. Lock up. N.O.R.L got that corner a bit wrong. Very, very wide. Go through the castle section now. Chazza will follow him. Very tough corner to follow someone through. These are even tougher. Flat out corners and a lot of turbulent air. More turbulent air coming off these 2017 cars than arguably ever before in Formula 1. And that really does translate into the game. When you go through a flat out corner like that, normally it's flat out. In the slipstream you definitely have to lift, and that's apparent in every car, from a Formula 1 car all the way to a Formula 3 car. It's just multiplied on a massive scale in Formula 1. 0.5 of a second is the gap coming onto the start finish straight, almost 0.6 now. No DRS for N.O.R.L to defend with. I'm sure I'll put it in the rich to do something. You have a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2. We're going to try and investigate that. Can't have been anything that risky. I think it's just Nemesis Racing having a bit of his own off. So Chaz is still hunting down N.O.R.L, and N.O.R.L is now hunting down Norfolk. Norfolk is now beginning to hunt down Paddy Brick, so we're about to have a 4-way battle for 4 positioning. If you just see in the background, that's Maverick, so that could be 5-way battle straight off the bat. JD7 increasing his gap to KB Killerzone. In the background we've got Chazza and N.O.R.L. Then the next battle to watch. They are the closest out of this group. 6/10 of a second separate this group. So we come through the chicane. Chazza doing everything he can to stay with him. He's on the same compound of tyres as N.O.R.L, but he's got to watch out for Maverick behind, because Maverick is on the super soft tyres, has a lot more grip and a lot more traction to play with. So if these guys start getting a bit too rough, then I'm sure Maverick will very easily be able to pick up the pieces. N.O.R.L not necessarily feeling the pressure. He's a cool man, cool head. Able to keep calm in the situations like this. Norfolk Blue, very close to Paddy Brick. We'll have to see as they come into the flat out S-bends who's got the nerve. How close is Norfolk going to be when they get to the DRS detection point? He's got to hog all the slipstream he can. Bit of rubber banding going on here between the two, the Australian and the Irishman. Literally opposite sides of the world to each other. So this is very trusting in one another. Welsh Floyd's made a move on Kevin Jacobs. Quite an easy move for him, as he's made his pit stop fresh rubber, and he is a faster driver, arguably, than Kevin Jacobs by some margin. So pretty easy stuff for Kevin Jacobs to get through that. Norfolk Blue will attack with DRS once again. Will he be able to do anything this time around, coming into turn 3? I don't think he's quite close enough. He's going to have to stick behind for another lap till they get on that start-finish straight. 0.4 of a second now between N.O.R.L and Chazza. Chazza putting the pressure on N.O.R.L, but N.O.R.L is not feeling it. Responding very well. Getting closer all the time is Chazza. Running out of space. He's getting that much closer on the brakes. He's running out of space as he brakes heavily. 0.7 of a second separates these guys. N.O.R.L might have his reprimand playing in his mind. I believe you get free reprimands. So you get 2 get out of jail free cards, and then you receive a qualifying ban. So maybe that could play on his mind a little bit. I mean, this actually is, I believe, his first reprimand of the season. So he's got another get out of jail free card for them. Was that Paddy Brick going a little bit wide out that last corner? I think it was. Pushing hard all the time is Norfolk Blue, trying to close in on Paddy Brick. Once again, Ireland versus Australia. This time Australia will have DRS. Full power. Is he going to try and make a lunge around the outside? No, he's not. Maybe a little bit psyched out by the rubber banding between the two there. Oh! Oh, Paddy Brick went in the wall. He went too deep. Paddy Brick in the wall, lost a chunk of front wing, will let his teammate through, and now I'm sure he will run interference for Chazza. No, he's going to try and get out the way. He could have played interference and got on Altanovic a bit of a gap, but it looks like he's still trying to fight Chazza. Coming into turn 3, will he break later? But that's just what cost him into turn 1. Breaking that much later, Chazza makes a little bit of a lock-up as he follows his teammate through the next series of corners. Paddy Brick has gone from a hero to 0 after breaking just that fraction too late. Couldn't stop in time before hitting the wall and losing a massive chunk of his front wing. Nightmare for Paddy Brick. He will have to pit, I am sure. This is a track, especially in the high-speed section we're coming up to, that he's really going to feel the pain of that missing downforce. Chazza really applying the pressure to Altanovic now, though. To come through the castle section, and Altanovic is doing his best to keep him behind, and Paddy Brick is doing his best to keep with these guys. And you can just see going that wide out of that corner just how much he's losing the downforce and missing the downforce after losing that bit of front wing. Very awkward corner coming up. Mavericks now assaulting Paddy Brick in the background. We've now got to try and keep our eyes on 2 separate battles at once. Maverick really on the assault here. He wants past Paddy Brick, but I think Paddy Brick's going to pit anyway. So Maverick will be happy to just take the DRS for as long as he can and try use that to keep up with this battle ahead of him. We'll see. Does Paddy Brick come into the pits? He's pulling to the left. That signals to me that he is. Should soon find out. He is. Paddy Brick into the pit lane for a new front wing. We've got Chazza going up the inside of Altanovic. Finally got the balls to do the move, but now Altanovic has got a better run around the outside. Concedes the attack, does Chazza. Chazza has to withdraw from that attack. Good defence by Altanovic, and now Altanovic knows that that's going to be Chazza's favourite overtaking spot. Meanwhile, a new front wing fitted for Paddy Brick as he comes out the pit lane. Look how close Chazza is to Altanovic once again. All this battling is allowing that man behind Maverick to have not only a front row seat, but to be invited to come and to have a go himself. Ragnar's made a move on Kevin Jacobs off camera. Another position for the Italian. Ooh, I think Chazza went a bit wide. Did Maverick follow him though? They both definitely lost time to Altanovic. I think Maverick may have just followed Chazza. You get that in the zone. When you're in a race like this, you get that in the zone, that you just follow the guy's lines, and when he makes a mistake like that, you follow him, and you feel a bit foolish for doing that, because if you stuck to your own lines, then that wouldn't have happened. But now this is an interesting prospect that's got to come into the mind for Chazza. If he makes another move like he did into turn 1 and doesn't pull it off, then this man is going to be here to punish him for it. So he's got to make the move as quickly and cleanly as possible as to minimise how much time he costs himself and N.O.R.L in this battle, because they've got a very fast multiple race winner and championship second place driver behind them, who is out for a comeback drive today. Maverick looks like he's got a pretty good run on Chazza though, gaining a little bit. It doesn't look like Chazza's gaining awfully much. Got KB Killer Zone comes into the pits, Nibbler into the pits as well. Very close as they come through turn 1. Maverick right up the rear. Maverick goes a little bit wide. Maverick's got to get past these guys. He's on the super soft tyre. Nibbler following KB Killer Zone. So Nibbler's closed up on KB Killer Zone during that pit phase. Chaz has gone defensive. Maverick not opting to use the slipstream. He thought about it, looked up the inside, maybe pressurised Chazza a bit as he had a little bit of a lock up there. But Maverick's got to get past this battle. Maverick's on the super soft tyres. These guys are on the soft tyres. These guys can go a lot longer than Maverick can in terms of their tyre life. What will that mean? Chazza, we've got Kevin Jacobs is out of the session. And that's just, looks like a car failure and manual retirement. No crash. Pulls off safely. No safety car will be involved in that one. To the disappointment of some guys, I'm sure. Chazza, once again, looking to try get past N.O.R.L, who's now sitting in a podium position because Nibbler and xxkillshotzxx have pitted. Surely not. Surely Chazza's not going to go up the inside of this corner. That'd be risky. No! He doesn't think about it, but that's cost him a little bit of time because now Maverick's going to punish him. Maverick's like, right, you've had your opportunity, let me pass, I want to go. Chazza slams the door in his face and says, no thank you sir, I am not letting you through, this is my battle. I don't care if you're on the super soft tyres. Tyres? This is my battle. I don't know what accent Chazza has, it could very well be Toyers, wherever he comes from. You never know. Just to clarify then, the third and fourth, and Maverick is now getting out of that battle and getting rid of them tyres, as is Norfolk, and our race leader has just completed his pit stop. Here's JD. Where's xxkillshotzxx? The undercut, definitely not that effective on JD as he's clean and clear. Norfolk coming up to turn 1, there goes xxkillshotzxx just in front of us, and there goes Nibbler. Welsh Void is going to undercut Nibbler though. Well, not Nibbler, sorry, Norfolk. Undercut successful for at least one of these cars. Maverick only just coming out of the pits. He's on these soft tyres now. So how's the battle? Oh, speaking of the battle, this is now your net battle for first. Net first place, of course, is JD7. But this, we can say right now, is the battle for first place on the track. And N.O.R.L leads from Chazza. Chazza getting a bit impatient, been looking for a way past N.O.R.L for a very long time. Both of these guys on a soft tyre strategy, looking to go longer. Chazza could really do for his strategy to get past N.O.R.L, because it looks like he's got the better pace currently, but N.O.R.L is an iron wall of defence. He's not going to let anybody through. N.O.R.L probably knows if Chazza gets through, then the battle of the soft tyre strategies will go to him, because he's got the better long run pace on them tyres right now. Sideways action for Chazza. Shows how impatient he's getting and how impatient the soft tyres are getting on following N.O.R.L. Let's give N.O.R.L a little bit more breathing room. But I'm sure DRS and Slipstream and Rich Revs will help that man close in and bring the gap down from 6 tenths to, I'm going to take a guess, at 2 tenths coming through turn 1. It's 1 tenth for a second there. 3 tenths of a second then separates our top 2. Net first position is JD7, who's just pitted to cover off xxkillshotzx's attempt of an undercut. Undercut was pretty unsuccessful for everyone that tried it, other than Welsh Void, who managed to get back past Norfolk Blue as a result. Still see a bit of front wing in that wall there. Chazza trying his very utmost to follow, catch and pass this man, N.O.R.L. Force India. Trying the very hardest. Chazza's getting impatient, but he's got to be careful, because once you get impatient you start getting on the throttle too early, and if you manage to save the car, you damage that tyre a little bit more. N.O.R.L is making Chazza drive to his pace. As it stands, N.O.R.L is controlling the race exactly the way he wants to, and it's hurting Chazza. It's hurting Chazza's strategy. It's race critical that Chazza gets past N.O.R.L this lap in the DRS zone. Anymore, and it's hurt him too much to challenge for the likes of a podium, or maybe even a top 5 at this point, because look how close JD is closing in on this battle. All this battling is not helping Chazza. Chazza had the opportunity for a top 5 with that soft tyre strategy today, and I think it's been ruined by that man N.O.R.L. N.O.R.L, not a bad guy of course, he has every right to do that, and he wants to gain as many positions as he can. DRS wide open once again, nowhere near enough for Chazza though. I think the damage is done. I think the top 5 could very well be out of the window because he's caught here, and that man in the background will want to clear these quite quickly, because not far away is this man who will want to get out ahead of Nemesis Racing. Nemesis Racing slows down, lets him through. So the gap now 4 seconds. The gap was about 5 seconds at the pit stop. So a second has been gained for JD7, for xxkillshotzxx on JD7, through the pit stop phases and all the other stuff. Callum J. Spencer just made a move on Ragnar because Ragnar pitted Looks like Galactical 2 is trying his best to follow the McLaren Honda. Toro Rosso taking Honda engines for next year, trying to see how the McLaren Honda is doing it this year. 5.5 tenths is the gap as we come through the castle section. Ups to 6 tenths as we get ready to go through the fastest part of the circuit, other than the start-finish straight. And all the time JD's closing in. JD within a second now. This could be race critical for JD because just look how much time he's losing. He's lost 4 tenths in the turbulent air. He's got to be careful because he can easily get slowed down to his own pace here. It would probably be wise for Chazza to not put up too much of an attack on JD and then wait for JD to make a move and try follow him through. And that might be what's about to happen. JD passed him before DRS even opens, potentially. Up the inside will go JD, get the job done. Job done on JD, swipes back into the racing line. Next up, man ahead of him, Anatanovic. JD set a fastest lap, it was immediately beaten by KB Killerzone. KB closing in on this fight. And JD will go through. If he can get it done before the braking zone, this will minimise time loss for Anatanovic, which will help him in his battle against Chazza. Job done. And the battle between Anatanovic and Chazza resumes from where it left off. I'm going to take a look up and down the field. This man's in the pits once again for a pair of soft tyres, as is Callum J. Spencer. Chazza is desperate to get past now. He's got to be so fed up of seeing pink. He'll never want to see that colour again. 12 laps to go here in Baku. Both of these guys are still yet to pit, remember? So they're going to drop out of the top 5 for sure. And there's even the potential to fall out of the top 10 if this battle can continue the way it is for much longer. Maybe worth an undercut for Chazza. Nemesis Racing has just been lapped. He's not chasing that Red Bull for position. Closest battle remains these guys. 3 tenths of a second. This could be the moment that Chazza's been waiting for. In the slipstream, Anatanovic is going to pit. After all the damage he's done to Chazza, he's going to pit. And now Chazza will need to set a stonker of a lap in order to prevent the undercut from Anatanovic here. There we go, let's see how smooth the Force India pit stop goes. Pretty straightforward stuff for the Force India boys. Oh! We just had a Renault go straight on in the background. That was Nemesis Racing. He's found himself in a little bit of bother. Oh dear. This is awkward. The old 3-point turn for Nemesis Racing. Where is he going? Will he getting away this time? There we go. Nemesis Racing is back underway. I bet that one hurt the pride a little bit, I think, for Nemesis Racing. JD then leads from Chazza. Chazza yet to pit. KB Killerzone is closing in on that battle. JD will be hoping and praying that Chazza does not pit this lap. But I feel Chazza might pit to try minimise the damage done by Anatanovic's. Ooh! Using all the track limits and some more for KB Killerzone there, nearly hitting the wall. As he is desperate to get past that Mercedes, continues hunting the McLaren in front of him. So will Chazza pit? I think either way, no matter what he does, he's going to be back down in 3rd position at least. He's going to lose that position to KB Killerzone by the end of the straight, regardless of what he does. We're going to see a pit stop from Chazza? No, we're not. So this man is going to have to pass him somewhere else. And he lost a little bit of time. He lost a lot of time. Ooh, and doing things like that will cost him time. He's cracking under the pressure of chasing JD here. JD's put a car between them. And that's interfering with KB Killerzone because he's struggling to get past and making mistakes as a result of that. and they'll have to follow that Mercedes for at least another lap, and all the turbulent air and hot air and just things you don't want to be driving into will be coming off the back of that Mercedes into the front of that Haas, and really be making an awful time for this man, KB Killerzone. So, we return after I take a little drink break to get over a little bit of... It's been a more of a calm race, actually, than we're used to. As Welsh Void taps the wall. The past few races that we've commentated have been absolutely mad, but this one a little bit more relaxed and calculated. 3-second time penalty for Paddy Brick. That is the second penalty of the session in favour of Paddy Brick, I believe that was. He got a penalty, as earlier xxkillshotzxx got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Now, will KB Killerzone have DRS? I'm not sure where the detection point is, but he wasn't within a second until just now. It's possible that he won't have DRS. I'm sure we'll find out. That might have been the detection point there, that big white line. If that's the case, he very much will have DRS. There you go, DRS wide open. Chazza pits. Gets out of the way. It's interfered with KB Killerzone enough, and it's time to see who wins this battle then. Chazza into the pit lane. Now it's going to be interesting, the undercut between himself and N.O.R.L coming down the start-finish straight. Chazza on his run into turn 1. This is going to be a bit close. There goes N.O.R.L. And N.O.R.L secures a move, secures the position with an undercut, but he'll pay the price with 2 laps older tyres at the end of the race to Chaz's 2 laps younger tyres. Nemesis Racing pits once again. Nemesis Racing picks up a pit lane speeding penalty. Oh dear. So now our gats begin to filter out a little bit. Things have calmed down, and it's nice on my voice box that I'm not screaming, as this league always has me doing so very much, but it's just the case, it's the nature of the circuit, of course. It's obviously a lot harder to overtake than it looks, because we've got 2 very fast guys down towards the bottom of the grid who we were expecting to like cut through this field like a warm knife through butter. It's just not happened for them. Admittedly, Cam J. Spencer's had a crash, and he's also made multiple mistakes. But Maverick hasn't really made that many mistakes at all. He's just struggled to stay with these battles. A number of things. Ragnar comes into the pit stop. Watch a stop from the Renault F1 team, boys. Oh, looks like that was a 5-second time penalty being applied for Ragnar there before the boys got to work. Brand new front wing going on that car. And away they go. We've got a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2. And it looks like that yellow flag has cleared itself. But is anyone anywhere there shouldn't be? No. So it looks like there was just a yellow flag glitch with the system there. As everyone is still cutting along in a merry little way. Now these are probably our closest group on track. We have Norfolk just ahead here. And just behind him, Paddy Brick coming into that corner now. Just behind him, N.O.R.L, his teammate. And then Chazza. Then 3 seconds behind him is Maverick. For another 3 seconds behind him is Welsh Void. So these guys are relatively near each other, just not in battling distance right now. And they're just sort of trying to follow each other as xxkillshotzxx in the pits. 5-second time penalty being applied to the Toro Rosso team. And there you go. Now they can get to work. New set of super softs going on for xxkillshotzxx. As Callum J. Spencer passes him while he's in the pit lane. So the race has calmed down an awful lot. We can talk about this man, JD, got the perfect start. He has a lot of pace. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Who is that? Oh, it's Colin. That's xxkillshotzxx just came out the pit lane. Cold tyres have caught him out. He's gone straight on at turn 2. That's unfortunate for that man. So now I have a little bit of dirt on his tyres. He will have scrubbed the tyres from the lock-up a little bit as well, I'm sure. And he's done some damage to that set before they've even done a lap. A lot of these guys looking like they're planning to go to the end then, as we have 7 laps of the Baku, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, left to go. KB Killer Zone is once again dropping back from JD. I'm sure next time out will be a lot more chaotic, but it just seems like this is a track that's very tough to follow. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Who is that? Oh, it's Nemesis Racing. Had an off at the castle section. Front wing's completely gone. Could this be a retirement for Nemesis Racing? I think he's certainly thinking about it, or is he going to try and limp it back home? Oh dear, oh dear. Pit light obviously flashing on the steering wheel, so it looks like he's going to try and limp it home, get it repaired, and keep going, but not a lot really to fight for. Ragnar has just let that Force India through as it's lapping him. That's not a battle we need to concern ourselves with at the moment. 3.9 seconds the gap. KB Killzone's brought it back in by 2 attempts, now 3. But is it enough? It looks like KB Killzone had very good 1-lap pace, but has pretty poor race pace. Unable to keep up with that man, Altanovic. Will now begin his defence in many ways, because defence doesn't just mean your defence when the battle's on, but it's also how is your defence against this guy's pressure. How is your defence on this guy closing the gap to you? You got to respond. When you see that Chazza takes a few attempts out of you, you got to respond and pull a few attempts back. And that's exactly what Anel Tanovic is doing right now. Gap's at 1.3, roughly 1.3 as we start the straight, and the gap only looks like it's going to increase down the straight. So Chazza potentially running more downforce than Anel Tanovic, which is costing him down the start-finish straight. But as unfortunate as Ragnar's had a little bit of an adventure as he's trying to get out of the way of the leaders coming through. How much will he interfere with Chazza though? Not a lot. Gets out of the way. Ooh, but Chazza gets a bit psyched out, almost put it in the wall after a lockup. That was a close one. I thought he was going straight for the barriers there. Norfolk Blues got it up in 4th. Good effort by him on the soft tyre. KB Killers has found another 10th, but I'm not sure it's enough. A yellow flag in Sector 1, once again. Anyone where they shouldn't be? Not really. Calvin Dispenser will come in for another pit stop. Splash and dash, effectively. Super soft tyre is going to go on, and he's just going to go have some fun. And a new front wing, so he's obviously binned it somewhere in the track. Apologies for that. Just clearing my foot, as we're hoping that something's going to get happening soon, and we can get shouting once again. No fun, this quiet business, is it? Anel Tanovic closing in on his teammate significantly. That's something to be interested in. I think Paddy Brick has made a mistake somewhere, because now his teammate's right with him. Blue helmet versus bright green helmet versus turquoise helmet. Two Pink Panthers getting ready to go to war. Will it end up like Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon? Or will they show the Force India boys how it should be done? Either way, we're about to find out, but I kind of feel that these guys might do a bit of synchronised swimming. Paddy Brick will run interference for Anel Tanovic against Chazza. Yeah, there it is. That was synchronised swimming. Paddy Brick pulled to the inside, let off the throttle, and let Anel Tanovic through. And now he's going to be Anel Tanovic's rear gunner. And that's nice of the Irishman to sacrifice 5th place for his teammate. And Anel Tanovic wasn't expecting that, because he pulled to the inside, and Anel Tanovic thought it was the defence. Immediately tucked in behind him for the slipstream, and then realised, oh, he's letting me through, and had to pull back out. And it was a little bit of an awkward exchange. No team radio though in this. The teams are free to communicate with each other, of course, but obviously these guys weren't communicating, or if they did, they weren't communicating very well in that instance. And now Paddy Brick is going to be trying to hold up. We get a yellow flag in Sector 1 as Ragnar gets a time penalty. Who was that? It's this man again. Nemesis Racing doesn't like turn 2, that's for sure. So this battle looks like it's about to be closing in and beginning. So what can happen here is Paddy Brick can try use the DRS from his teammate to defend against the DRS of xxkillshotzxx. But all it takes is him to get a better run and he'll be passed through his teammate again. So it's going to be close, it's got to be nice and synchronised down at Force India if they want to hold off this Mercedes. Force India has already done damage to Mercedes' plans today by holding him up while he was on a soft tyre strategy. So as we begin lap 22 for these guys, 0.6 of a second separates xxkillshotzxx from Paddy Brick. And 0.9 of a second separates Paddy Brick from N.O.R.L. Looks like N.O.R.L's getting away just a little bit now. xxkillshotzxx is going to have to do something rash and aggressive if he wants to keep continuing this travel, but we've seen from last time he's pretty cautious when it comes to making moves. Maybe the street circuit effect is playing in on his mind a bit. Realises that he could easily DNF and making something too rash. 0.4 of a second though. He's clearly faster. He's on the faster compounded tyres. He's got to get through, but it's definite that Paddy Brick is going to be playing rear gunner at the moment for his teammate. Just see there that xxkillshotzxx was a little bit close on fuel. He has 0.2 worth of spare fuel. So that's interesting. With the big straight and people using rich to attack and defend, they're going to be using their fuel quite a lot, and they'll have to do some fuel saving. Some lifting and coasting is the most effective method. Meanwhile, Norfolk Blue is attacking his compatriot. But the closer battle currently is xxkillshotzxx. We have Sector 1, yellow flag, and a time penalty for Nemesis Racing for multiple warnings. Look how close xxkillshotzxx is, coming through that final section of corners. Surely he's going to get past the Force India rear gunner here as we come on the start finish strip before DRS even gets enabled. xxkillshotzxx got an amazing run, full commitment through the final section of corners there to get that run. Great effort by xxkillshotzxx. That was awesome to watch how close them guys were. Job done for xxkillshotzxx then, up into 6th place, and he could continue his hunt of N.O.R.L. So Norfolk Blue chasing down his compatriot for a podium position with 3 laps to go. Battle of Australia. Red Bull versus Ferrari, soft tyre versus soft tyre. Nibbler struggling a little bit for pace, it would seem. Norfolk Blue, a very fast driver. Australians having to get up at really early. Oh, contact! Pushing him along almost there. These Australians are racing in a European time server, of course, so these guys are getting up very, very early. Full dedication to these guys. It's a great effort from them guys. Just them showing up at this time is a win in itself. But to give us a great battle at Baku is going to push that a little bit further. Another time penalty for Paddy Brick. But he's done his job. He tail-gunned significantly for xxkillshotzxx, for N.O.R.L. against xxkillshotzxx, and gave him a 2-second gap and a buffer that I think N.O.R.L. can... Ooh! Up the inside maybe! Nibbler got a poor run! Up the inside, job done for Norfolk, and I think that the reason this has happened and transpired is I think I spot some front wing damage on the front left, or... yeah, the front left of that Red Bull. You see he's missing an end plate. So Nibbler's been in the wall somewhere, and that's cost him that much time that it's allowed Norfolk to catch and pass him. But he's reluctant to let it go. With 2 laps left, he's going to do what he can. He's trying to get past and defend like crazy. Meanwhile, next up on the hit list for Red Bull is Maverick passing Paddy Brick, but Paddy Brick pits anyway. Obviously feels he's had enough and he's going to go have some fun. Maybe try to go fastest lap, as I think that's what some other cars like LJ Spencer are trying out themselves as well. And Renault at this point. But there's definitely damage on that Red Bull front wing. And I think that's what allowed Norfolk to close in so rapidly. But take nothing from Norfolk. He made a great move to get past him. 2 laps to go. And the job has been done by Norfolk. But Nibbler is trying his hardest to get that podium back despite having the damage. We've got another yellow flag in Sector 1. I have a feeling it could be a Renault. It's not a Renault, okay. Sorry, Renault. I've offended you a little bit there, haven't I? But Nibbler chasing down Norfolk. Battle of Australia, I think, will be our battle to the end because xxkillshotzxx unable to pull anything significant on Chaz, on N.O.R.L. Chaz unable to pull anything significant on N.O.R.L. through that last lap. Not Chazza being able to pull anything on Chazza, because that would be an interesting one. But I said that he's now gone and taken another 2 attempts out of Anil Tanovic. So he's pulling, but I don't think it's enough. So I think this is the battle to watch. But saying that, Nibbler really feeling the effects of that front wing damage now. Just losing time, hand over fist to Norfolk Blue. So it's been a bit of a calm race, a slow burner, I think, is the term that we're going to go with, and it shows that Baku is a bit of a tougher track for racing than the other ones. Had a few guys making mistakes here and there, that's cost them. We had JD getting such a better start than this man, xxkillshotzxx. xxkillshotzxx has pulled it back into within 2 seconds now, but again, with only 1 lap to go after this, I don't think it's possible. I think, unfortunately for us, this could be the finishing order that you're seeing now. I'm not predicting any more moves until the end of the race currently. It's just unfortunate because the guys are so spread out, and I think the race was decided a long time ago. I mean, that is just nothing against these guys, nothing against N.O.R.L. That is just the nature of this circuit. But who would have thought that xxkillshotzxx would lose the race based on his start alone? It's where it all went wrong for him. He's now just lost 6/10 through that corner. It's where it all went wrong for xxkillshotzxx. JD got a superior start and was gone before you could even say boo. Great stuff by xxkillshotzxx to pull that JD, sorry, to pull that on xxkillshotzxx. It was a great effort by xxkillshotzxx to get pole position, but unfortunately, pole position isn't worth much when things like that happen. Like they say, they don't hand out the prizes until the Sunday, which is race day. Might be wrong. Could very well be a move going on here. Battle for a single point between Callum J. Spencer and Galactic Skull 2. You kind of think that the point would be more valuable to Galactic Skull 2 than that McLaren, but the McLaren, fresh rubber, and is really using all of it to try and get past. It might be a drag race to the line. Lance Stroll on Valtteri Bottas and Lance Stroll kind of stuff. Oh, both in the wall. Both in the wall at the castle section. I think more damage was done to Callum J. Spencer. He's got away with it. I don't see any front wing damage. Can't afford to be doing things like that too often, boys. That could have very easily been a DNF on simulation damage. Easily. Paddy Brick sets the fastest lap of the race. We've got a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2, but it's very brief and it's gone already. It's back again, and it's Nemesis Racing once again exploring the track is the nice way to put it. As ooh, he almost got in the way. Van Altanovic there. So here's Callum J. Spencer. Here he goes. Ragnar has retired from the session. He's just given up. That's manual retirement. Callum J. Spencer versus Galactic Skull 2. Round 1, turn 1. Is Galactic Skull 2 going to go defensive? No, I think he's going to be safe. Callum J. Spencer will have to try it coming into turn 3 next time around. Last scrap. JD7 wins the race though. Great effort by JD7 to take the victory here. Unfortunately, we can't switch to his car, or we will not be able to watch the rest of this battle, as is the features of the F1 2017 spectator feature. So I apologise to JD on that one, but great win by JD. He will win ahead of xxkillshotzxx in second place. Norfolk Blue looks like he's going to hold on for his third place, and fourth place will be Nibbler. But our last lap battle going on between Callum J. Spencer and Galactic Skull 2. These two are very good friends. Callum J. Spencer in the wall, wing damage. Wing damage for Callum J. Spencer. He's got on the brakes too late. And I think that is all she wrote for Callum J. Spencer's. I mean, he can drive with all his might, but the odds are stacked against him by having that little bit of front wing damage. That front wing damage, I think, is going to seal Galactic Skull 2 that point, but Galactic Skull 2 may have a penalty. I'm not sure. I have to check that after the race. He's had time penalties for speeding in the pit lane, but I'm not sure if he's had any for cutting the course. Wow, all four wheels up. There's a little bit of rain is starting to come down at the end of this race. I mean, Galactic Skull 2 will hold on though. For that 10th place. Great effort by Galactic Skull 2. These points are valuable to Toro Rosso. They're a little bit of a fragile team in this league. And then over the line then will come Galactic Skull 2. Unless J. Spencer can do anything, and he's far too back. No chance in that happening. Galactic Skull 2 will cross the line and win that battle. And there you have it. That is round 10th place for J. Spencer. Did Colin Galactic Skull 2 may have got a penalty then, unfortunately for him, but at least he can say he got it on merit. I'm sure we'll find out very soon. We're going to go to the podium now, see JD on the podium ahead of KB, Killerzone and Norfolk, I believe, is our podium. There you go, you can see that for yourself. Ireland, Wales and Australia are our podium sitters today. Great effort by these guys. Unfortunately, no music for copyrighted reasons. Unfortunately for us on the podium. Doesn't quite look right without music, does it? When the spraying champagne, but I'm sure that doesn't bother that man Jake there. Another victory for Jake in the bag. Great effort by him. Galactic Skull 2 did have 8 seconds worth of penalties, and that will cost him a point. Should be biting himself after that one. Paddy Brink may have lost a position due to penalties as well. But that has been round 8 of the championship, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. JD wins it ahead of KB Killerzone. Great battles going on at the very early stages of the race. After that, it got a little bit of a slow burner. But thank you for sticking with us. And until next time in round 9, please join us then. I've been Toby Bird. This has been the F1 2017 N.O.R.L Championship. Thank you very much, and goodbye.